Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Greetings there, and this is 15 Minutes of Genius. This is episode 91, 9 episodes away from episode 100. We're all getting excited here. There's some champagne on ice somewhere here. I think it's near Mark in the back, right? Is that right, Mark? It's somewhere near you back there. Can we hear you on there, or only I can hear you? Yeah, sure. Yeah, come on in. Say something.
Yeah, we don't have any champagne back here, but we're going to start digging it up for you.
Sure. There's a Costco right around the corner, so I'm sure we can get some great 6-packs of champagne for like maybe $9.99. So we'll figure it out.
We'll send out Rachel.
Yeah, the stage manager. So, all right. Without further ado, we got a lot to go through here and unpack with our next guest. Big plug, Mark Nicholas, mark@animatomystudios.net. There he is, the guy that's about to send out Rachel to get champagne. And there's Rachel right in the background there. All right, so make sure to reach out to him, mark@animatomystudios.net. So our guest, without further ado, is Suzie Yorke. She's the founder of Love Good Fats. So not only a great product and great entrepreneur, but really a great track record and traction. So a little bit about her company and about her. Suzie launched a rocket ship food startup brand called Love Good Fats that just exceeded $100 million in revenue in just over 3 years. She's a proud mom, partner, former marketing CPG executive, and now first-time entrepreneur at age 50 on a fierce mission to spread the word that fat is back and sugar is out. She's an 11 times Ironwoman, I should say, athlete, cyclist, marathon runner, fueled back then on low-fat nutrition, which did not work, right? It's all about the good fats. Award winner of the 2020 RBC Canadian Women Entrepreneur Award, winner of the 2019 Top 100 Most Powerful Women Award. It just goes on, but I'll stop right there to leave enough time to talk with her. Suzie, it's an honor. Thanks for being on our show.
Well, thank you. Thrilled to be here.
Absolutely. All right, so a lot to unpack here, as I mentioned. So let's get into it, okay? So I want to first start with this $100 million in the last 3 years. We talked a little offline. First year kind of was starting slow, and then it just suddenly rocket shipped, and then there were some headwinds that happened last year. Tell us about your story on your journey to get to $100 million, which is very, very rare in any business, but especially this business. So tell us how you got there and what's happened since then.
Yeah, well, thank you. We certainly smashed most, if not all, standards for fast food startup, and very grateful of kind of rapid sales and consumer love that we've been shown. So it like pretty much every single natural product entrepreneur with an idea, the kitchen table, making the samples, going to a lab, finding a co-man after 30 co-mans said no, and then having some foil samples, over 100 different versions in my dining room, and then taking some to Whole Foods and the other natural chains here in Ontario, and them saying sure, then having 30 co-packers say no, and then one say yes, and then full production fail and have to find another one. Very, classic kind of challenges of trying to get a bar with lots of fat and no binders, nothing to hold the fat, no sugar, gram of sugar, and no carbs. So very, I worked 2 PhDs in lipids, and I became a co-man fat expert at one point, having to kind of bring all the science together. So it kind of started with that. But as soon as I got the bars, and again, full-time, left my jobs, working at the dining room table, no employees, not getting paid, all the classic startup stuff we know. happens. But very, very grateful. I just launched 2 SKUs because I took kind of all my personal money, and then I did a really small round, the first round of just under 400,000, and bars, like a full production is usually 100,000 bars. And, you know, it's kind of pretty costly to just turn the machines on with the minimum runs and stuff. And then just got 2 bars, enough to kind of, literally drive them over to the stores and spend the whole first weekend in September 17 doing demos, and then the next weekend and the next weekend and the next weekend doing demos. The first 4 months we sold 50,000 per month or so, like pretty blessed to have that. But then we got listed very quickly. The phone was ringing, and Acosta and Assess wanted to take us on as one of their brands, and then all the big banners wanted to list us. So 2018 we grew 5,000% and ended the year at 8 million. And then
it's your first full year, right, Suzie? First full year.
Yeah.
8 million. Yeah. Okay. Just for the record, so everyone knows that it's her first full year. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah. So that was kind of a big point of relief. So the first year hitting such a milestones of 8 million, kind of knew that we're in good shape. It's not gonna, we passed some key hurdles for size and scale in Canada. So that was really exciting. But then we still didn't know, how will the brand do? For example, we got listed at Costco. Like, how will the brand do now that we know we're doing really well in grocery, really well in natural, really well in mass? Now the last hurdle was Costco, and then that really exploded the brand. So our second full year, we hit 47 million, and we had a lot of US banners calling us too. So we were enjoying incredible velocities in Canada, and then getting phone calls to come to the US. So we started dipping our toe with some natural banners and online in the US. So it just was pretty phenomenal. We talked about velocities kind of offline, but we've seen numbers in bars that has just been incredible in Canada. 1,000 to 2,400 per stores, and $4,000 to $10,000 per clubs, like massive numbers. Our bars, we started with 2, I quickly moved to 4, and then 2 more, and then 2 more, and then 2 more. It's just a very unique bar. Like, it's loaded with good fats. It has a very soft core. We call it truffle. It melts in your mouth. The bar is tastier in the fridge or freezer, so it just changes the taste experience and how kind of the fats interact with the other ingredients in your taste buds. And so it's just like nothing like that. Very natural, clean, gluten-free, soy-free, non-GMO, project verified, responsibly soy sourced, kosher, all that kind of good stuff, with some plant-based versions and not. So it's just a kind of a clean, high fat, moderate protein, very low sugar, 1 to 2 grams, no sugar alcohols, and very low carbs. So it's keto friendly also. And once you start eating it, it's addictive. So that's kind of what allowed us in Canada to get, by getting into Costco and mass and grocery, we got a lot of trial. And once the boxes are in the homes, everyone's kind of really getting into the bars. And it's hard to go back and eat, a sugar bar after, you've kind of had a taste of a really clean, healthy, low sugar bar, really.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what, yeah.
And one thing just to jump in on, sorry to interrupt here, but just the one thing I want to emphasize, 2 things, right? 2 things. Number one, the bar is so differentiated, right? So for all the people that are watching this show, right, we usually get averaging 3,000 to 4,000 views, per episode. That Suzie created something that didn't have the carbs, that had low sugar. There's a lot of bars that have low sugar, but they still have the carbs, and still making it taste really good and decadent and enjoyable. So she really, I'd say the best products that I've ever had are where nutrition and taste crash together, and they both are really, really there. And the other thing that you mentioned, Suzie, is also velocity. You dug extremely deep in these locations in Canada where you're mentioning it blew my mind. You know, like that emoji on your iPhone where it shows like the mind being blown. That was me, like when you first shared it, where I'm just like, oh my God, like per store, you're getting per week 2,000 to 2,500 or even up to 10,000. You were saying some Costco's were at 10,000. Brands are lucky to crack 5 to 10,000 a year in a store. You know, you're getting it per week. So it really shows that digging deep, right, in store by store velocity is what really grew your brand. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty phenomenal, a launch in 2019, and everyone was winning. You know, sometimes like in the last 20 years when a natural brand would expand outside of natural, you know, it would kind of create some challenges because the natural health food stores would be like, oh, you know, I'll get cannibalized. But, you know, for us, it was a win-win-win. Like the natural stores were doubling, tripling the volume. The grocery stores were growing. Like everyone was kind of winning together. We still have, you know, we only have like, I think 40% awareness in Canada, and, you know,
only 40%.
Yeah, no, but like,
That's so
you know,
high.
relative, you know, we're 4 or 5% trial. Like, there's still a lot of upside. You know, I bump into Canadians all the time that don't know about the brand, so there's still lots of upside. But we kind of had that kind of magic that happens. That you can't really write in your marketing plan. Like we just got we got kind of lucky that it all kind of came together. So we had that catalyst. Then we launched in the U.S. in a big way. So we are very fortunate to be in, I think, 16,000 doors or something in January of COVID, you know, just before COVID. And we were, you know, excited about kind of duplicating. I mean, we knew it might not be that fast and that big because we would have been, you know, a $500 million company in an eye blink. But we were kind of, you know, expecting to kind of have a similar model of growth. And, you know, we had a really fast start in January. If you look at the share data, and then, you know, come March, everything was shutting down. So it became very challenging. You know, we had 4 or 5 big headwinds with, you know, keto getting hit really hard because people stopped keto immediately. And then on the go got hit really hard, and then in-store discovery got hit really hard, and then natural banners, which is where we were, got hit really hard as people just did, you know, 1.2 trips instead of 5 trips a week. And awareness and trial, you know, and in the natural space, your brand gets discovered with in-store discovery. So it's certainly not, you know, I would have never written the marketing plan to say, you know, launch in the US, this little Canadian brand, and then boom, like get hit with these big headwinds. We would never, you know, it sounds like suicide to have done that. But I mean, we're very fortunate to be able to pivot, you know, protect our employees, protect our brand, protect our cash flow. So we made a lot of like tough decisions and quick decisions. We raised a really good Series A. So very grateful today that we're able to kind of keep on getting through a never-ending COVID and still be standing, because I'm sure a lot of brands have been caught with the vortex of damage that COVID's inflicted if you're in one of those categories that got hit hard.
Exactly. And, you know, it's pretty, you know, and you're talking about the Series A as well. You brought in some great investors that know the space, extremely seasoned. InvestEco, I know, you know, friend of mine, Andrew Heitzman, the managing partner there. Also Mike Fata, which is, you know, he is the founder of Manitoba Harvest that exited twice for, I think, 9 figures, you know, for $500 million the second time. So you have great partners on board. And, you know, despite some of these headwinds, that will pass, as you know, and you're already recovering and then growing it again. And tell us about, before we, you know, I want to get into the last segment here, and we're running out of time. Tell us what strategically you did in 2020 when COVID first hit. You know, how did you pivot? What did you work on? Did you focus more on D2C? Tell us more what went through your head, and what was a strategy that you did for sales in that year?
Yeah. We had kind of three strategic planks, like people, brand, and funding. So on the brand side, we had some big building blocks that were in place. We had some innovation that we were just launching, our Chewy Nutty. So that was imperative to not have the innovation get caught with all of the headwinds, like, because innovation is hard enough to succeed. Now we were kind of throwing all of this at it right in the middle. We were cutting back all the marketing spend, and we didn't cut back much of the trade spend to keep the retailer support. But those were tough decisions, obviously, because we're a small company that doesn't have the deep pockets. So we had a big building block of major displays in all the retailers across Canada to support our Love is Love diversity event, where we were raising $1 per box up to $50,000 to fund a charity, a LGBT charity,
That's great.
Rainbow Railroad.
Great.
So we kind of like protect the displays, protect the innovation, protect the supply. We had a big test we had a test at Costco. We had shakes in another test. So we really took all of our building blocks and say, fiercely protect. It is, and that kind of really helped us through the year. We had some businesses and some channels that are harder hit. So we kind of know, I think, bars and club channels. I mean, a lot of the retailers just shifted to where there's more traffic. So the on-the-go bar category got decimated. Like the declines were drastic. So we kind of understood all of that and make sure we made the right decisions so that we don't have big mistakes that would kind of drain the cash while we're raising more cash.
Got it. It's an amazing story, great pivots. You did what you needed to do to keep the company growing. Fantastic number one revenue and product that really kept you going. So even it goes to show, if you have the right people and the right product and brand and supporters and investors, you'll get through those headwinds, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that your product sells and people love it. And that's like, you can never take that away from any company. So let's get into our next segment here, because we're running out of time, and it's called Rapid Fire Questions.
Rapid Fire Questions.
Okay. So I don't know if you've seen these before on previous episodes at all. Okay.
Yep.
There we go. I can tell you're a personality type that you definitely are prepared. So you probably watch previous episodes to say, okay, what am I getting into here?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but
a little bit nervous. You'll do fine. Yeah,
go ahead.
You're good. So you've been in much more nerve-wracking situations, I'm sure, than this. So, all right, here we go. Ask you a bunch of questions, just rapid fire. Answer the questions as quickly as you can. First thing comes to your mind. You ready?
I'm ready.
First question, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys.
Is back? All right. First thing you do when you wake up?
Grab my phone, then a coffee.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do the phone, not the coffee thing, but I do the phone. It's a bad habit, but I do it. Movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times?
Any Disney movie.
Any Disney, love it. Okay, top one or two Disney movies. Go.
Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, so you're going to the old school, like the 30s and the 40s. Okay, I'm kind of a little more modern. I'm Lion King, number one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that movie. And the second one to me is Ratatouille. I've always really liked Ratatouille. This is a great movie.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So favorite sport to watch?
Well, I have a week.
Oh, I think the audio went out. Uh-oh. I think the audio went out again.
Hello.
So if it does, then it's good that it happened at the end of the episode. We had some audio issues. So
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can't hear you now. So What we're gonna do?
I don't want to.
We were halfway through the questions. We're gonna. Okay. So let's pause it. So Suzie, we're gonna pause it, and then we'll start it again. Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Okay. So we're just gonna
I don't want to move. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just pause the taping. We're gonna resume it. We're gonna pretend like we're going right through it again. All right. So here we go.
Okay.
And I actually skipped a question, so this is good. I can go to the skip question. All right.
Perfect.
Song you can listen to an unlimited amount of times.
A Heart of Glass.
Heart of Glass. Blondie.
Yeah.
Heart of Glass. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's my terrible falsetto. Favorite sport to watch.
So I have to say it's Ironman races and the Kona World Championship. I just it's a niche sport, but having raced 11 Ironmans, I could just watch an Ironman all day long, every day.
Love it. Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet?
Zoom.
What is your favorite, or what is your spirit animal?
Probably a dog.
Dog. Okay, great. Window
It's
seat.
pretty straightforward.
I think it's the year of the dog too in Chinese culture. That's random,
go.
but yeah. I could be totally wrong. I'm married to a Chinese woman. If I'm wrong, I'm in huge trouble. All right, window seat or an aisle seat on an airplane?
I go back and forth.
So you buy
literally-
both seats and then go back and forth during the flight?
I will bounce back and forth. I have 6 months of the year I prefer one, and 6 months I prefer the other.
Got
and
it. Got
good
it.
reasons for both. Yep.
Yeah, I misinterpreted your answer. I thought you meant like I get both seats on the flight and I go back and forth during the flight.
Yeah. No, like I literally, like, it just changes. I'm like, nope, now I only want aisle. Nope, now I only want window.
Depends on the season, right? All right. So
Yep.
peanut butter or almond butter or neither?
Peanut butter.
There you go. Omnivore, and you have peanut butter in some of your bars, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just addicted to peanut butter.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Omnivore, flexitarian, vegetarian, or vegan?
Yeah, flexitarian.
Flexitarian. Got it. Yeah, you have to be a flexitarian when you're an Ironman. You can't just have vegan. You got to have like protein
Nope.
and meat.
Yeah.
So cold weather or hot weather?
Hot weather.
Hot weather with an emphasis.
Yes.
LeBron James or Michael Jordan for basketball?
Oh, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Ginger or turmeric?
Ginger.
Got it. Favorite food or drink if you're stuck on a deserted island? You cannot say Love Good Fats and you cannot say Genius Juice, which I think would be an awesome combination, those two.
Stuck on an island, yeah, it'll be some sort of coconut, like that. I would be coffee, but if I can't have coffee, it'd be some sort of coconut water or something.
Maybe you can have like the coffee and then squeeze the cream from the coconut and then put it into your coffee as like an MCT boost, right?
There we go.
Very good.
You live off that. Yeah.
Oh, forever. Yeah. Coffee and coconut cream. That's all you need in life.
Yeah.
So, and Love Good Fats. So that is rapid fire questions with Suzie Yorke. She's the founder, 100 million in revenue in 3-year company, which I don't think we have anyone on the show that's done that. So, so that's Love Good Fats, amazing product, great company. Suzie, this is episode 91. Thank you for joining us, and honored to have you on. So thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a wonderful night. All right, so that is episode 91, 15 minutes of genius. Big plug to Mark Nicholas. I can hear him in my headphones munching on some chips right now. I'm sure they're good. So I can actually hear his mic the entire interview, just to let you guys know the behind the scenes information about the show. So Mark N. at ManhattanBeatStudios.net. Make sure to also go to our Instagram, genius_juice, because we're starting to post videos about behind the scenes, the inner workings, getting guests on here, all that great stuff. How we film this, the special effects, all this stuff. all on our Instagram and soon to be on TikTok, genius_juice, and then Genius Juice on TikTok. So again, episode 91 in the books. And one last thing, stay genius, my friends. Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.